Hey folks, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to return to the theory videos. I know you've missed them. But today we're going to look at a book theory, and this book is one of my favourites of all time, and I have been waiting for an excuse to finally talk about this book. And my little chickies, the time has come. And that book is The Bunker Diary by Kevin Brooke. Now, just a sort of disclosure, I think, disclaimer. What I'm going to be talking about is very disturbing and dark, and I don't think I can actually put what I'm talking about in the title, or shit will be demonetized, because God forbid there should be any triggering content on the internet. Who would have thought that? But we're going to be talking about cannibalism and abduction and death. So, lovely, your day-to-day topics that you just bring up in conversation. I mean, have you eaten any people recently? But anyway, let's get into these theories. Okay, so the first theory is that Linus's dad is actually behind all of this. Now, this may seem far-fetched, and I will look online where I first sort of found the beginnings of this theory, but I buy it. Even though Linus is a very unreliable narrator, so some of the things he says might be a little misleading. But I think Linus's dad is actually behind it. So the reason I think this is because by the time that Linus has been abducted by he's been missing a good 5 or 6 months. If your 16-year-old son was missing, would you just give up so easily? Linus's dad doesn't seem to be particularly bothered by the fact that his son has gone missing. Now, I know it's not exactly the perfect father-son relationship, especially since Linus's mum died, but maybe the reason that he's not that bothered is because he's been planning something else to teach his son a lesson, maybe, which would then mean that this book is making a very strong point about capitalism and what you can do if you've got money, which is terrifying. The second piece of evidence is that Linus's dad is a very, very wealthy man. So if he wanted to show his son his power, if he wanted to teach his son a lesson, he could. He could hire, quite easily, 6 different people to abduct them. And plus, Linus's dad is mentioned to have made artwork that is very sort of surrealist and disturbing when he's not, doing the cartoons. His work is disturbing. So that might give some indication that there's something, the sort of dark artiste sort of thing. And I can't for the life of me remember what they compare his art to. But I know it's a contemporary artist who is very dark with his content. So maybe that might have something to do with it. But he could hire 6 people, because none of those in the bunker describe the same man. There's one blind man, there's a police officer. They don't describe the same person. And who could afford to hire them? The only other wealthy person we have learnt in the book, Linus's daddy. So I don't know. Maybe Linus's dad has constructed all of this to teach his son a lesson. Going a little bit far, granted. But I think that would be extremely interesting in terms of the man, or he, being sort of allegorical for God, and a rich, entitled white man being made into a metaphorical god. Ooh, controversial. Oh, controversy where? Up in here. I don't know. I think it's a really interesting theory, and if I find the review that first mentioned this, I will link them down below and credit them and all that good stuff. My second theory is dark. The second theory is to do with the ending, so major spoilers. It's that Linus eats Jenny. The ending is upsetting enough anyway, but there are certain things that Linus says at the end of the book that would lead me to think he's eaten her. Now you've got to keep in mind, at this point, food is not coming into this bunker. There are only 2 of them left. Jenny is sick. So, what do you do when you're in a desperate situation and there's literally nothing left and you've got a dead body lying in front of you? Your survival instinct is going to kick in. Now bear with me a second while I find the quote that I am looking for. Bear with. Bear with. Bear with. Bear with. Yeah, as I said, it's not exactly light in any respect. What he says... Bear with. Bear with. Is something along the lines of an apology, which it would kind of make sense that he might be apologising to Jenny if he's just eaten her. And we also have to consider that at this point in time, Linus has started to go slightly mad, which is indicated by the writing style where he stops using coherent sentences and just speaks in a sort of very babbling manner almost, which I guess if you've been trapped in a bunker for that long, you're gonna start going a little bit crazy, which I've got the ebook right here. Oh, I'll find it. I'll find it eventually. Bear with. Yeah. So. Oh, and also at this point, there's no water either, which we're shown when Fred decides to drink bleach. Oh yeah. Right, okay. So, the quote that I'm going to use comes from page 257, and it's when he starts talking about animals, and this is where he goes... I think the page before he was using relatively coherent sentences, and now his mental state's completely gone. And it's flesh and blood, meat, drink. That's how it is. Flesh and blood, it's all the same. Cow, pig equals 3. It's all meat, flesh, food, energy. It's all the same. Turn the bad to good. We're all animals, animals, animals. Meat and drink, your liquid eyes. First thing. So sorry, so hurting, skinned dry. Which you can see that as just him talking about himself, or maybe he has skinned Jenny, which is so disturbing. It's dark, but it's why it's loved, I think. It's one of these sort of survival young adult novels that is incredibly dark and it doesn't talk down to its audience. And I wouldn't exactly say it's, suitable for kids or anything, but it is a fantastic young adult novel. It's a prime example of what you can do with the genre or the market. Yeah, I think Linus has eaten Jenny, which is so messed up. But then again, as much as I hate to go into the whole survival instinct thing, if you are trapped in a bunker, you don't know whether you're getting out or not. At some point, you stop using your rational brain and you revert to your lizard brain. You will do whatever it takes to survive, even though you might not be particularly aware of it. And I believe that Linus probably still has a little glimmer that maybe he might be saved. So what do you do when you're in that situation? You're the last one left. You've got a dead body. You've been eating insects up until this point. All the insects are gone. There's no water. You're probably going to start eating cadavers. So messed up. It's like some sore shit up in here. But just okay. So the final theory is kind of what most people will conclude anyway, but that's that Linus does not survive the end of the book. Now there are some people that have said, oh, maybe he has survived. I don't buy it. This book ends in the middle of a sentence, and it ends with "this is." Now, if we're going to our imperial affliction type thing, where the book just ends in the middle of a sentence, maybe Kevin Brooks also making a statement that it's not tied up neatly with the complete sentence. It's cut off halfway through with no explanation. It just is. So maybe I feel so weird holding this while talking about the Bunker Diary. They are so completely different, but we'll work with it. There's no rhyme or reason to the final words. It's just cut off, like all of the people in the bunker's lives were cut off short. No explanation, no true resolution. And I think it would be sort of cheating the reader to end with a full sentence, which is really weird to say. But there is no real sense of resolution. There's no full stop. It just ends. I don't think Linus survives. Because I don't think anyone would have saved him, or they would have done it earlier. I think Linus's dad, if my first theory is to be believed, is he just gets bored, moves on, sees how his experiment will end, and once it's ended, he's bored, he moves on. Oh, there are so many good theories about the Bunker Diary. Oh, I love it so much, and it's dark, disturbing, bleak. But that's the genre I write in, so that's right up my alley. So that is it for all of the theories about the Bunker Diary. If I find a link to the theory about Linus's dad being involved, then I will link it down below. And hope you guys liked it, and I will see you with another video. Sleep tight, chickatitas. Sleep tight. Bye.